Most brand owners I talk to think TikTok Shop is a sales channel. They get on it to generate revenue, they measure it against Amazon, they compare the GMV numbers. And when TikTok Shop doesn't win that comparison, they pull back. It's how every brand has been trained to think, and that single framing is the reason why most brands fail on TikTok Shop. In this video, I want to build this mental mode from the ground up. I'm gonna walk you through the problems every brand is either facing right now or will face eventually as they scale. Then I'm gonna show you a solution that exists but explain where it falls short. And finally, I'm gonna show you why TikTok Shop, when you think about it correctly, is the solution to all of those problems all at once. I'm Rajeel, I run WURX Media. We've scaled over 50 brands on TikTok Shop and generated over $100 million in GMV. Everything I'm about to show you is what I wish every brand knew before they joined the platform. Let's get right into it. The brands doing 7-8 figures on TikTok Shop right now understand the true purpose of the platform. TikTok Shop is not just a sales channel. It's the most powerful marketing channel available to any brand right now. One that also generates revenue on the side. To understand why TikTok Shop is what it is, you first need to understand what's broken. Meta is getting more expensive and harder to scale. Meta was, and for many brands, it still is, the core engine of their D2C. Even if the Andromeda update never happened, Meta was always going to get more expensive. That's just the math of any ad platform. When more brands compete for the same eyeballs, CPM goes up and margins get squeezed. There's no version of this story where paid social becomes cheaper over time. On top of it, there's the creatives problem. To make Meta work, you need great creatives. Great creatives require constant testings, new hooks, new formats, new angles. And creative testing is expensive too, but nothing compared to problem 2, which is the need to build an audience. Most D2C brands have customers, very few have audiences. The main difference between the two is that customers are transactional. An audience, on the other hand, advocates for you. They talk about you and come back without being retargeted. Think about the brands you see everywhere. Gymshark, Stanley, Liquid Death, all of those brands have a core audience. Gymshark doesn't just sell gym clothes. They've built a community around the fitness culture. Liquid Death has the same story. They've built a brand that people want to be associated with. The keyword here is associated. People don't just buy products. They buy a whole identity. They want to be associated with brands that are cool, stand for something, and the ones that have a point of view. You can run paid social for years, but the moment you stop spending, you disappear. And in a world where customer acquisition costs keep rising, the brands that survive long term are the ones that have built an audience that comes back without being paid to. Problem 3. Influencer marketing got expensive and unpredictable. When influencer marketing first emerged, it was incredible. The rates were cheap, the creators were authentic, and the reason why creators were posting about brands is not because they were getting paid, but because they genuinely loved the product. This is why their audiences trusted them. Brands like Fashion Nova, who were early to the game, built their entire empire on it. They partnered with thousands of creators simultaneously, and it worked because the content felt native, real, and trustworthy. But then creator rates exploded. $10,000 for a feed post, $20,000 for a YouTube integration. For the bigger creators, as the money came in, the authenticity went out, and their audiences could feel it too. In 2026, influencer marketing is more of a brand play, and more brands are now leaning towards working with micro and nano creators who still have that trust with their audiences. But the operational side of running such a campaign is a nightmare. You're manually finding creators, DMing them, negotiating rates, signing contracts, and shipping products. Then, you're chasing them to actually post, tracking a separate affiliate link per creator, calculating commissions, managing spreadsheets, and all of it is manual, time-consuming, and not scalable. Problem 4. Amazon is a war zone and it has a ceiling. Amazon is where purchase intent lives. When someone wants to buy something, they go to Amazon. That's not changing anytime soon. So every D2C brand needs to be on there. But you're listed next to dozens of competitors and everyone is fighting for the same spots. You're paying significant PPC costs just to be visible. And Amazon owns the customer, you don't. But there's a deeper problem. What happens when you've maxed out on Amazon? When you've optimized your listings, dialed in on the PPC, earned your reviews, but growth has still plateaued. The only way to scale an Amazon listing beyond its organic ceiling is external traffic. You have to bring customers from somewhere else and send them to Amazon. That's the only move left. Most brands don't have a system for that, and without it, they're stuck. Okay, so we've talked about some of the biggest problems brand owners are facing right now, but there's a deeper problem underneath all of this. The average person sees thousands of ads every single day. This has led to them developing a filter for anything that seems like an ad. The moment they sense they're being sold to, they disengage and scroll past it. Think about the last time you watched a pre-roll ad on YouTube. What people actually do on social media is look for content that makes them feel something. Entertainment, education, emotion. They're on these platforms because they want a dopamine hit. They want to be distracted, they want to laugh, they want to feel inspired. As a brand, if you want to reach out to them, you can't interrupt that experience. You have to become a part of it. You have to create content that is so good that people still watch it even if they know they're being sold to. And this problem is fundamentally different from the problem that brands were solving in 2018. So now that you understand the world, the question is, what do you do about it? Let me walk you through the solution on the table and exactly where it falls short. Organic social is, in my opinion, the most important investment any brand can make right now. And most brands are either not doing it seriously or not doing it right. Here's how to think about the landscape. You have two main short form channels, Instagram and TikTok, and one main long form channel, which is YouTube. All three are worth building on. But if you're going to prioritize one platform, it should be TikTok. And here's why. Both Instagram and TikTok move towards interest-based discovery, which means a new account on either of those platforms could theoretically reach a very large audience if the content is good enough. That part is similar, but there's a key difference in how each platform is actually experienced by the user. On TikTok, the For You page is the default. It's the first thing that you see when you open the app. The entire platform is built around content discovery from accounts you don't follow. The discovery surface on TikTok is simply bigger and more central to the experience, which means your content has more room to find an audience organically. There's also a cultural difference. TikTok rewards raw and unpolished content, which is why authenticity wins on the platform. For a brand starting from scratch with limited resources, the barrier to entry on TikTok is genuinely lower. But the biggest differentiator isn't even the algorithm, it's behavior. Instagram and YouTube are discovery platforms too. But when someone watches your content and wants to buy, they have to leave the app, find your website or Amazon listing, navigate to a cart, and then check out. Every extra step is a drop off, and most people don't make it. TikTok is the only short form platform where someone can watch a video, click on the product tagged in it, and complete the purchase without ever leaving the app. That friction is gone entirely. And what's remarkable is that this behavior, buying products discovered on TikTok, was already happening before TikTok Shop even launched. There's a hashtag that tells the whole story. Users started using it organically when they posted about products they found on the platform. It wasn't created by any brand. It became cultural on its own. A self-sustaining loop where someone discovers a product, buys it, posts about buying it, and then drives the next wave of buyers. All of that was happening even before TikTok built the infrastructure to support it. That's how powerful of a discovery engine TikTok already was. But you still need the infrastructure to turn that organic attention into consistent and compounding growth. And that's exactly what TikTok Shop provides. Let me show you how. Before TikTok Shop, the friction in social commerce was brutal. Meta tried to solve it with Facebook Marketplace and Instagram Shops, but both of them failed. The product cards didn't flow naturally in the main feed experience, and neither platform built the ecosystem with creator partnerships in mind. When TikTok Shop launched in 2023, it solved two problems that any other platform had failed to solve simultaneously. First, the friction between content discovery and purchase. Now a user can watch a video, click on the product tagged in it, and buy it, all without leaving the platform. TikTok built an affiliate center where creators sign up, browse your product catalog, request a sample, and start promoting. Commissions are tracked and paid out automatically by the platform. No need for spreadsheets and no manual follow-ups. Those two things together created something that had never existed before. And when you map it against each of the problems that we talked about earlier, here's what you get. Unmatched distribution. When you have 200 affiliates posting about your product every single month, that's thousands of pieces of content. To fully understand the magnitude of effect this will have for your business, the best real-world example of this thinking is Andrew Tate. Say what you want about the man, but what he built with his affiliate distribution system is something that every brand should study. Every time he posted a clip, hundreds of his students would repost it, remix it, and push it out to their own audiences on their own accounts. He didn't have to run ads because he had organic distribution. His affiliates earned a commission on every sign-up that was generated through them, plus a fixed amount per 1,000 views. Because the views were organic, the content spread everywhere. WOP communities were specifically built for this. Groups of affiliates whose whole purpose was to amplify and redistribute the content. The result of this was omnipresence. His brand was everywhere all at once. TikTok Shop gives every brand that same exact infrastructure. Your creator affiliate program is your distribution army. The difference is that you don't have to build it from scratch. TikTok has already built the rails. You want people to associate with your brand and not just buy from it. When thousands of creators are talking about their product to their own audiences in their own voices, viewers start to recognize it because they've seen your content in their field multiple times from people whom they trust. That repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds trust. Trust builds the kind of brand equity that lowers your customer acquisition costs on every other channel. This is what Gymshark did with influencers. Except now, you can do it at a fraction of the cost with a platform that has the infrastructure already built. Every creator that posts about your product is producing a piece of content. That content doesn't just disappear after they post it. You can take the best performing videos and run them as paid ads on Meta. You can run them as GMV Max ads on TikTok. You can even put them on your product pages as social proof. You can run the world's largest creative testing operation at a fraction of the cost. But here's the best part. When millions of people are watching creators talk about your product, a significant portion of them doesn't even buy it on TikTok. They go to Amazon because that's where they're comfortable shopping. Amazon sees that spike in demand and rewards it with better ranking. And now you're getting Amazon sales that were not generated by PPC. This is how you break through the Amazon ceiling. External traffic from TikTok sends demand to Amazon, and the Amazon algorithm responds to it. Your listing grows in ways that Amazon-only strategies can't achieve. Same thing happens on D2C. Your direct traffic increases. People who discovered you through TikTok are now finding you through Google. And here's the thing about attribution that most brands get wrong. They try to assign a single channel to every sale, but the customer journey has never worked that way. A customer might watch a creator post your product on TikTok, take no action, go on with their day. The next day, they see an influencer mention it. They search you on Amazon, look at your listing, compare prices, but still no purchase. 3 days later, they're on Facebook and see a retargeting ad. They remember the Amazon search, they go back, they buy. Was that a Facebook sale, a TikTok sale, or an Amazon sale? In reality, it was all three. TikTok was the first touch. Without it, the chain never starts. That's why the mental mode matters so much. If you're only measuring TikTok Shop by its direct revenue, you're cutting off the first domino and wondering why the next aren't falling. And for brands trying to get into retail, this virality on TikTok will help you with both getting accepted into retail chains and also converting more shoppers who see you on the shelf. With all that being said, here's how a brand should think about TikTok Shop. It is the top of your funnel. It generates content at scale that you can use across every platform. It builds the kind of brand awareness that makes people want to be associated with you. It drives external traffic that lifts your Amazon, your D2C, and your retail conversions. It gives you UGC that becomes the best performing ad creatives on your Meta campaigns. And yes, it also generates direct revenue. But that revenue is the bonus. If you're still not convinced, take a look at this. Walt Disney drew his business model in 1957. Films at the center of it, theme parks, merchandise, music, publishing, all around it. Films weren't the most profitable part of the business, but they were the engine that made everything else possible. In your case, TikTok Shop is your films. It drives culture, attention, and awareness. Everything else, Amazon, Meta, D2C, retail, they monetize this attention. And brands that understand it aren't asking whether TikTok Shop is profitable on its own. They're asking, what does our entire business look like when TikTok Shop is firing? And the answer to that question is why best brands on the platform aren't slowing down. Okay, let me bring it all together. The world brands are operating in right now is harder than ever. Meta's ad costs are rising and there's no ceiling to it. Building a real audience, one that's loyal, one that advocates for you, is harder than ever. Influencer marketing is expensive and broken at the infrastructure level. Amazon has a ceiling too, and you can't break through it from within the platform itself. And TikTok Shop is what ties it all together. It solves the CAC problem, it builds brand equity at scale, it generates creatives, it breaks the Amazon ceiling through the halo effect, and it gives you the infrastructure that makes influencer marketing what it was always supposed to be, without the bloated rates and broken systems. Now, if you're watching this and thinking that all of this sounds great, but I don't have the team or the time to do it properly, that's what we do here at WURX Media. We handle the full TikTok Shop operations for brands. Creator recruitment, affiliate management, paid ads, shop management, the full system. We're selective with the brands that we choose to work with. So if you want to know more, there's a link in the description. And if you want to go deeper into the mindset and execution, I've written a whole book on it called $1 Million Months, and it's also linked below. Alright, this was all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.